Welcome to Not Quite Nerdy, where we do the nerdy stuff so you don't have to. Today, we are
talking about Game of Thrones. We are analyzing and spoiler, talking about the past big episode.
That Arya Stark, though.
Spoilers.
How do you feel? Spoiler alert! How do you feel about the entire season so far?
I enjoy the entire season so far. We are at the end of episode 3, so we got 4 coming out in 2 days. But I really liked it. They did I think a good job of building up that big significant battle with the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, and
really
let's throw some stats out there. There were like 400 something people in that battle, and it took 55 days to film.
At night only, like from like 8 p.m. to like 5 a.m. or whatever they did for 55 days. Insane.
If you don't know why we're saying this is so crazy, is that most movies are filmed the whole movie in 55 days.
Right, yeah. Pretty insane. But I'm kind of also a little, going into episode 3, the big battle. They did a great build up. The first 2 episodes, great build up. They built up the emotions and the connections and that long wait, the quiet before the storm.
Yeah, let's talk about the first episode. Was like it was like after you went away on summer in high school.
Yeah, they did a good job of
reintroducing. You came back like the first couple days of school after you went away for summer. Oh, hey, all these, it feels so good. And then that's it.
Right, yeah, like it didn't throw you into a middle of craziness. They really did a good job of that.
Yeah.
Reintroducing. Because it was like, what, a year and a half or something crazy?
It was 2 years. It was 2 full years.
It's insane, yeah.
Because it normally come out in what, April or May?
It's like
typically.
April usually.
And last year they skipped a year. 2018 we didn't have a season.
Right, yeah.
So fully, 100%.
Second episode, I kind of forgot what happened in the second episode.
In the second episode, the most significant thing in the show's history for me was we found out how Giant Spain got his name.
Oh, that was fantastic. The big woman here.
When I was 9, I killed a giant.
Then I cuddled in with his wife.
What did he say?
Then
I jumped in bed with his wife.
Yeah.
She thought I was a kid and I suckled her teeth for 6 months or for 4 months. Yeah, that's how I got my name.
Ridiculous. That's amazing.
That's how I got so big. Giant's milk. Oh, I love him.
That character turned out to be one of the best characters in the whole show. One of the best. I mean, all his interactions, like even from when you first meet him, but like now that he's kind of like that badass / comedic character.
He is. He's like awesome. The big dumb brute. Like he's got no shame.
Yeah.
He's like Mad Mardigan or something. You know, from fucking Willow. It's like he's just so badass that he's forgiven for all ridiculousness. I love it.
Fantastic. And when they're like through the crypts, not the crypts, but the dark hallways, when they went to that other castle to find out what happened, and they met up with the other crew. Like, oh, get him! He's got blue eyes. You know, like I've always got blue eyes. And
so good,
fantastic,
so good.
Just like those small little lines and interactions.
Yeah,
with him.
So
they're awesome. They do a good job of that.
Him taking the entire show away in that episode. What was cool about the episode 2 was it 100% gave you the like pre-war jitters.
Right. Because
like everyone made you feel awkward. That's how you know it's a bunch of good
battle
actors.
Was happening.
Yeah.
So it was a good job.
And every one of those actors acted awkward. Like the thing about acting awkward or like acting sad or any of those emotions that are very like underspoken.
Right.
For you to make me feel that through a screen by just being awkward, by just being silent and creepy, like, woo.
Yeah.
I felt like the next episode, some shit was gonna hit the fan, and it did.
Yeah, and they talked about, the directors and stuff talked about how they were kind of molding it, not like a direct copy, but like inspired by, I guess you could say, of Helm's Deep.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings.
Because it was like that same type of atmosphere where it's dark, it's shitty, it's, you know, and it's like a lot of quiet before like the huge armies show up.
They did a great job
in the darkness. And
but that only took like 3 days to film.
Yeah. Yeah.
This fight scene's amazing.
And it was lit way better. So there was in talking about episode 3, the big one, obviously. So that's the only downside. Well, there's actually several downsides, personally, I think, on that episode. In general, it was a great episode, but there's some stuff they messed up on. One, obviously, lighting. I understand the intention behind the way they filmed it and lit it. I understand that intention.
Yeah.
However, but it didn't translate well.
It was super dark. In fact, I was watching it on a TV near a window with blinds, and just the light just the light bleeding in around the edges was enough. Right. Even with the TV angled away from it, that I could not see the episode. In fact, when you walked in just now and we said, let's do this episode, I said, I need to watch it again because I couldn't see the episode.
There's stuff I missed, and there's.
I feel like the only way you saw that flawlessly is if you had whatever the highest end OLED TV is, because the only way you're going to see those parts
sealed everything
is if all the black pixels in the TV literally turned all the way off. Yeah. So that the light was actually emitting from the, it was super dark. And I get it, you're fighting death and it's supposed to be pitch black in the middle of the night, but there's a reason that they make cameras with low light capability.
Another problem I noticed was, because I saw the main episode on a regular like 120 hertz TV, and then I watched it again on my
your badass
my Dell monitor. So when I watched it on that 120 hertz TV, which we all know, well, I don't know if we all know, but 120 hertz TV is not 120 hertz. It doesn't translate the same way.
What it is a movie that's filmed in 24 frames per second. So in every second, 24 frames are filmed. And then when your TV plays it back, it's transcoding it, or whatever the correct term is. It's basically in 60 frames per second. And then your TV goes another step and doubles every frame.
It looks like the frame you're looking at and the next frame that's being sent into your TV from the source, and then it analyzes it and says, okay, in between, we're gonna put 4 frames to make it look like it's moving in this way. So it fakes it. Now the problem with that on this episode is that it was so dark that it caused ghosting.
Oh yeah, I believe that. You know, you'll notice
it didn't know what to do.
So there's something you'll notice.
Because it's dark and fast moving.
Of course. And there's something you'll notice on typical LCD TVs and monitors. You'll notice this specifically on things like YouTube videos. Whenever someone's got a cool dark background like this, because of the compression of them actually taking all of your colors and compressing them, making a smaller bit rate, what happens is you'll notice anybody who's got like a black background or a dark gray background, when they shine one light, we have 3 lights. They shine one light. You'll see the rings. Right. And it's like a ringed dead stops gradient. And that happens whenever, this will happen if your TV, your typical LCD TV or monitor, if you turn the brightness really, really low, or the energy saving is on, you turn all your lights off. Which is another problem, right? We turn the lights off to try and see what we're watching on the TV, and then the TV dims like an iPhone would. And now you can't see it even more. And then you got to go back through your settings and it's a whole nightmare. But you'll see that. You'll see weird, not even ghosting of the physical movement, but anything that's supposed to be dead black, because it's not an OLED monitor where the black pixels turn off. There's this weird shapes all through it, which makes it it's super distracting. Even if there was no ghosting on your TV and you saw just all of these weird shapes in the black, and there's a little light way in the corner where the army's coming from, all you're noticing is all the S's and shapes. It's terrible.
So there was a guy that online I found on Reddit, that huge Game of Thrones subreddit, where he took a couple chunks of clips and edited them to brighten them up, adjusted the contrast levels, did this, all that, and it looked amazing.
Color grading. I bet it did.
Like, it looked like how a night battle should look.
I feel like
it still held the atmosphere of the darkness, but also you can see.
Right. So and that's what you
actually see the army of the dead. You can see
like think about
you can see the dragon fights, things happening in the middle of the fight that you had no idea happened.
If you go back far enough, you'll notice that people used to film things not in the dark, and then they would darken them or tint the lens or something back in the 60s and 70s. Like, you never filmed in the dark because cameras typically couldn't actually record in the dark. Now we have cameras like this one where I could literally be dark outside and this can see twice what my eye could see. So it's like you're gonna take a red camera or a ARIA Alexa crazy cinema camera and you're gonna go film on the dark when you have all the lights in the world. I mean, you've seen those sets. They have all the lights, they have everything. I feel like they graded it too dark. Like they purposely darkened it or pulled the contrast back or up the blacks. And it takes away from the experience because now you're missing And who knows, maybe they thought on their color accurate monitors in the editing room, whatever, that it was flawless, but then they didn't think about that extra compression when it goes through a TV or through an app or onto the YouTube channel, like whatever it is. And yeah, but I mean, we're nitpicking. Fucking episode was awesome. But yeah, distracting. I mean, it is what it is.
Now, ARIA.
Holy freaking.
She's a badass. Which also is, comes back to what I was talking about earlier about the episode was badass and amazing as a whole and very extremely entertaining. I love battle sequences and battle scenes, epic battle scenes like that. That's why I put stuff in my book like that. But kind of disappointing how...
Here's the way I look at it. The fight scene, albeit wonderful, was too long and they weren't really losing long enough. Like if you're going like a Lord of the Rings right before the Eagles come, remember those videos, how it should have ended?
Right, yeah.
They do every single movie. And it's like if the Eagles had come at the beginning, there would be no movie. So like what like Lord of the Rings does perfectly, all of those movies, Hobbit too, is if this is the full length of the battle sequence, 65% of it or whatever the correct ratio is we feel like we're winning. We're stuck in it. We're trapped. All we see is close-ups, shots, and stabbing and murdering and whatever. And then the music changes. And then we go into this we're not so sure. And then the last 10% is this, we're losing. And when all hope is given up,
right, yeah,
and somebody comes over the hill with a whole other army, like whatever. This felt like we couldn't tell if we were winning or anything for like 30 straight minutes, which is like 85, 90% of the battle. And then the losing was so dramatic that Arya just stabbing him and them all dying was totally anticlimactic.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Like totally, it didn't feel like a payoff.
Done way more epic. But it yeah, like you said, there's not enough payoff to it.
So from us making videos and editing though, think about this. You got 400, 500 people and you've got like 4 million hours of footage to go through. Like how could you possibly have known, oh, we got that scene and we got this, keep going down the shot list. There's this million things you want to film and you have an idea in your head of what it's going to look like. And then you get all of it back and you edit it and you're like, oh, well, maybe we're missing some of the things like we need, like we thought we had it, but we didn't have it.
Page 40 of the storyboard we kind of missed.
You know, or like just the feeling of what they had recorded just wasn't quite what they wanted.
Because the thing, it's literally 7.5 seasons of
it's a lot of
building up. The Night King, the winter is coming, this is the enemy, it's crazy, the undead, this and that. It's building that up for 7.5 seasons. And in one episode, it gets resolved. And that was the disappointing thing to me.
I thought what I was guesstimating is that we were gonna have 2 full episodes of battle. And then one final 6th or 7th episode of payoff. We figured it out, now we're gonna but what I realized as soon as it ended was like, oh, I get it. We don't have 10 episodes. We're being robbed again. It was 7 last time, not 6. But we still have to go fight Cersei's bitch ass.
Right.
And then take over Queen's Landing. That's going to be 1 episode. And then we'll have the 1 episode of, oh, I love you. I'm the king, by the way. BT dubs, everybody. Don't worry, I'm the king. Kept that from you because I wasn't 100% sure if I wanted to be king.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing, too. They mentioned once, 1 quick little second. I think that if we kill him, all the other dead he killed might die too.
Yeah. Yeah.
What? 2 seconds. And then we don't hear a damn thing about her magical weapon.
Yeah.
They build up like this much suspense behind it. Then she kills him.
Right. Yeah.
I need way more information than that. I need details. I want to see the specifications online. I want to know what's
the weapon that she had the guy build him
was just dragon glass on a spear.
It was the spear thing. Yeah. But I don't think that's what she used to kill him. It was the dagger.
I'm pretty sure it was cut in half or something. Or do you think she used
a dagger that? No, not needle. It was like a dagger that Bran gave her.
Oh.
It was like towards the end of last season. He was like, here, I don't know what this is for, but you must have it.
I don't remember that. But yeah, that sounds right. And they said Valyrian steel was killing him, and then the dragon glass was killing him. So like,
yeah,
I don't know. It was good.
I mean, just overall, fantastic, but some things just, nitpicking, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, anything that good. It's like nitpicking battle scenes in the Lord of the Rings. I mean, they were amazing. I couldn't do better.
Yeah.
He definitely couldn't do better.
Yeah.
Anyway. Well, that about wraps
So what do you
that
think's
up.
gonna happen?
Dude. I think we're gonna go kick Cersei's ass, and I think one of two things is gonna happen. This is the only thing I can think of. If that battle ended in one episode, it can mean one of two things for me only, based on the million movies I've seen in my life. Either A, they're gonna go down to fight Cersei, and we're gonna lose or be losing at the end of the 5th episode, or what have we been 4?
4 will be.
We'll be losing on the 4th. And then we'll win on the 5th, and then in the 6th will be, you know, typical Lord of the Rings fashion, very end sequence with them crowning and everyone's smiling or whatever. Or the other option is they are going to travel for an entire episode.
Oh yeah,
And then fight her in the episode after it, which means it would be like a second episode. Be a lot of waiting for a battle, a lot of silly small talk, a lot of us kind of getting to see all of our characters. Oh, how many did you kill?
Yeah,
You know, that kind of thing. So I don't know. It's one or the other. I can't imagine it going any way other than that. It's either 2 full episodes of fighting, or an episode of traveling, an episode of fighting where we kind of lose at the end, and then and then it starts off with like an instant stab again. Cersei's dead, and the mountain is dead, and then then it's happy the rest of the last 45 minutes. So I don't know. That's all I can see happening. What do you think?
I think it'll be like 2 episodes, just like the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Like it'll be build-up episodes, and then the 6th one will be whatever shenanigans happens, and then it just cuts and ends.
I mean, that could potentially be a much shorter battle sequence. However,
because the next 3 are supposed to be about an hour, 10 minutes or so each.
Yeah, it's supposed to kind of get longer after the first few. What's weird though is that King's Landing, way better setting for an epic battle.
And hopefully
we have a bay. We have a bay. We have 1,000 ships. We have a mountain
ships,
with a castle on top of it. It's much harder.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that they would sit. But I just feel like he spent 55 days doing that sequence, and it was.
Yeah. Well, I read that they have the same guy that directed the battle episode, directing the last episode.
Okay, then that's probably where our real battle is going to happen.
So I think
that's a good clue.
I'm not entirely sure, but I think I read that.
All right. Well,
that's that.
That's all we got on the freaking Lord of the Game of Thrones. And
or Thanos shows up.
Or that creepy squid dude. Your powers mean nothing to me. Anyway, like and subscribe and do all the stuff that happens in this bottom corner. Hit the bell if you want to see future episodes. Thank you for watching. We love you. Not quite nerdy. Keep it nerdy, people.